All right, good morning. Let's start on our mats in a comfortable seated position. And if a comfortable seated position for you includes a blanket under you or a block to sit on, please go do that. We'll sit up nice and tall. Wriggle the buttocks flesh away. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's bring the energy into our high heart, expanding the chest and squeezing the muscles of the high heart and back. Allow the eyes to softly close. Bring your awareness to the sounds as far away as you can hear them. Maybe there's birds outside your window or cars going by. Connect to the large environment. And bring your awareness into the room, connecting with the immediate environment, noticing the environment that you're in, the warmth or coolness of the air against your skin, the feel of your clothing and the floor beneath you. Any sounds or smells, maybe someone's cooking breakfast in another room. Just become aware of all your senses. Maybe the taste of the saliva in your mouth. The only sense you're not using at the moment is sight. And then we're going to begin to withdraw the senses, bringing the awareness inside, becoming aware of the thoughts in your mind. And notice how they are this morning, how thoughts are showing up for you. And let them float through your mind like clouds in the sky. Notice what feelings are showing up this morning. And know that if we do not hold on to a feeling, it will move through you in 90 seconds. So we can allow our feelings to rise and pass through us, one following the other, honoring every feeling as it shows up and letting it go. And allow an intention to form for today's practice. Perhaps someone or something you would like to dedicate your practice to today. Mentally repeat that intention 3 times in the positive present tense. Let's anchor that intention by sharing the sound of Om. Breathing out to let go of whatever is old and no longer serves you. Breathing in deeply. Let's begin with some sun shining breaths, inhaling, reaching to the sky, exhaling, open. And you can imagine you're gathering earth energy, bringing it up and then just letting it wash over you. And then you're clearing your aura, your energy body as you come down. Bringing up a big, wonderful scoop of earth energy and just letting it pour over you and then sweeping anything out that you don't need, bringing it back into the earth to be transmuted, used for further growth for someone else. One more time, let's scoop that energy up, interlace the hands and bring them behind your head and press the elbows back as you lift your chin and chest. And then draw the chin in, keeping the spine nice and long. Inhaling, open. And exhaling, close. Let the hands at the back of your head support your head, lifting your head away from your shoulders. And back to center. And let's just open to one side and back the other way. So we're bringing the ear towards the shoulder. We're also opening the side body. One more. And release your hands. Let's lower the chin to the chest and roll the ear to one side. We'll take the opposite hand, bring it up and over and touch your ear, just allowing a gentle weight as you release your shoulder down away from your ear. Breathe into that stretch. And release. Bring your ear to your shoulder the other way. Reach that hand up and over. Gentle stretch to the side of your neck, dropping your shoulder down. Feel that lovely stretch and breathe into it. And release. Let's rotate the head from side to side. Go back to the first side, and this time we're going to bow the head 3 times. Feel how there's a different part of the muscle that's being stretched. Inhale to center. Oh, you feel that? And turn and bow 3 times. And back to center. Let's bring the ear to one side. Let's bring the other hand, let's bring the other hand to the shoulder. Bring the ear to one side. And then we're going to go back and forth over the shoulder. Exploring the stretch. And back up. I'll bring the other hand across to your shoulder and then Tilt your ear away from the hand and then go back and forth across your shoulder, exploring the stretch in your neck. And back up. Bring your chin to your chest and make a little wave shape. Perhaps you feel some snap, crackle, and pop in the back of your neck. It's working out the arthritis there, lubricating all the joints in your neck. Come on back up. Let's make a little figure 8 with the nose. And figure 8 the other way. And notice how your neck feels now. Let's bring the hands behind the head and just lift the head. So you're holding onto the occipital ridge, the base of your skull, and lifting your head up off your neck with your heel of your hand on your jaw, and then you're turning your head. And coming back to center and turning the other way. And coming back to center and trying to keep that length in your neck, release your hands. Let's bring our hand to one side of our skull, and then we're pressing the hand against the skull against the hand, but what that's doing is actually strengthening your neck muscles. And release. And if your legs are getting tired and you want to switch direction, change direction on the legs. And then we'll do the other side. Bring your hand, heel of your hand to your skull, right above your ear, pressing your hand into your skull into your hand, feeling how those neck muscles are engaging. And release. And bringing the chin in slightly so the back of the neck is long. Bring the heel of your hand to your forehead and press your forehead into your hand, keeping the chin slightly tucked. You may notice that your breath is deepening as we do this as well. And release. And then just move your head in whatever way feels good to you. Just notice how it's feeling now. Let's scrunch up the face. And release. Inhale and scrunch. And release. Inhale, scrunch. And release. And let's come into Lionface Pose. So you can spread your fingers wide either on your knees or reaching forward onto the floor. So the fingers are nice and wide. You're spreading your claws. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale. Eyes and mouth wide, tongue touching your jaw. We're resting in between, moistening your mouth. Inhale. Emptying all the air and then breathing deeply to replenish. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Lift your high heart. One last one. And come back up. Just notice the aliveness in your face and neck. Let's bring one shoulder up and the ear to the shoulder. And down. Bring the other shoulder up, ear to shoulder, and down. Shoulder up, ear to shoulder, and down. Shoulder up, ear to shoulder, and down. Let's circle the shoulders. And circle back the other way. Let's bring one arm across the body, hook the other arm over it. Pull that arm in close, giving that shoulder a nice stretch. If you like, you can circle your wrist while you're here. And circle back the other way. And release. And bring your arm across, hook the other arm underneath and pull your arm towards you. Circling the wrist. And circling back. And down. Let's bring the elbows together as close as you can, and as close to shoulder height as you can. We'll read the newspaper. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Engage the muscles behind your heart. Lift your chest. That's called engaging the high heart. And then bring the elbows together. Inhale, open the chest. Squeeze the muscles between your shoulder blades. Exhale. You may not get your arms as high as this. You may not be able to bring your elbows together. That's perfectly okay. Just go as far as your body will allow, finding your own edge. Do one more. And then we'll flap. Press the hands back. And sweep the air and turn the fingers up towards you. Press the hands back as you bring your hands as far behind you as you can, squeezing the fingers up into a little fist. Exhaling, press back. And coming in, squeezing those fingers in. Rolling them out. Nice and tall. Giving the shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands a nice little stretch. And last one. And bring the arms out in front. And let's squeeze and spread the fingers. And circle the wrists. And circle back the other way. And inhale the arms up overhead. Let's grab one wrist and stretch to one side. Come back to center, grab your wrist and stretch the other way. Come back to center. Give yourself a pat on the back and either push that elbow back, pull it back, or swing around behind you and interlace your fingers. Don't poke out your rib cage though. Feel that lovely stretch in the front of your upper arm. And release. Inhale up, let's pull the opposite way. Big side stretch. And change sides. And back to center, give yourself a pat on the back and push that arm back, pull it back, or sweep around behind you and interlace your fingers. Again, keeping your core nice and firm, don't poke out your bottom ribs. And release. Let's get a little spinal twist in there. Reach with your back hand, big arc, following it with your head and eyes. Coming all the way over and coming down to a forward fold. Inhale, roll up. And come to a spinal twist in the other direction. So reach that arm as big an arc as you can make. Bring that hand to your knee and coming forward. And rolling up. One more, reach up, coming into eagle arms. Let's bring one arm down. Bring the other elbow inside, and you have options here. You can either hug your shoulders, bring the back of your hands together, cross your palms and touch, or if you have a strap, you can use a strap, and we'll make some circles here. And we'll circle the other way. And then remember which elbow was on the bottom. Inhale, reach up. Bring the opposite arm down first. Bring the second arm inside. Hug your shoulders. Back of the hands touch. Palms cross and touch. Circle. And circle the other way. And inhale. And draw your hands down to your heart. Elbows lifted, palms pressing together. So we're actually engaging the arms, the hands, the shoulders, the chest and back. And I know osteoporosis is something that as we age, we're concerned about. So bringing pressure together like this is actually strengthening your bones. So if you can't put weight on your hands, you can still strengthen your arm bones by engaging in Anjali Mudra. Lovely. And down. All right, let's get the rest of our body involved here. Let's come over onto our hands and knees, and we'll come back into child pose. And reach your arms as far forward as you can with the fingers spread, and lift your armpits off the floor. Lift your elbows off the floor. Press into your hands and feel your back lengthen towards your tailbone, towards your heels. Pick your head up and walk yourself around to one side. If you're walking to the right, particularly press into the left hand to create a nice stretch in the left side of your body. Inhale back up. I don't know where that gravelly voice is coming from. And walk over the other way. Lower your head. Press into your right hand, assuming you're walking to the left. Inhale yourself back into child. Bring your left arm in with the palm up, right by your knees, and then slide through. So you're pressing into your right hand now. Spinning your rib cage towards the sky. Inhale back to center. Bring your right arm in, palm up, arm parallel to your knees, and slide through. Press into your left hand. Spin your rib cage. Inhale back to center, child pose. And let's come forward into puppy dog. So lifting the elbows, begin to lift the hips as you slide forward till your hips are right over your knees. Draw the belly in and bring the top of the sacrum into your body. Bring your chin and chest to the floor or your forehead. Whatever works for you. Draw the head of the arm bones into your body, excuse me, and flatten your shoulder blades onto your back. And press back into child or egg if you'd like to. Let's go for a second set. Reaching the arms out, elbows are off the floor. Slide the wide fingers forward till the hips are over your knees. Lower your chin or forehead to the floor. Draw the top of the sacrum into the body. Draw the head of the arm bones into your shoulder sockets and feel your shoulder blades flattening into your back. This should all feel familiar from last week. Bringing the energy into your high heart as you bow your heart to the floor, to the earth. And press back into child or egg. Let's inhale up into thunderbolt and into table. Send the right leg out behind us, drawing the head of the thigh bone into the body. If you have the balance, bringing your opposite arm alongside your ear, drawing the head of the shoulder bone into the hip shoulder socket. And let's circle the ankle. And circle back the other way. And if it's getting too much, keep your hand on the floor. Let's flex the foot. We're going to inhale and lift that leg. Breathing deeply as we pulse that knee up towards the ceiling. Drawing the belly in. And down. Maybe waggle your tail. And then let's send the opposite arm, leg out. Send the opposite arm out. Circle the ankle. Circle back the other way. And if you'd like, bring your hand to the floor, bend your knee, and we'll pulse that leg towards the ceiling, supporting with a nice lifted belly. Probably feel that in your lower back, at least that's where I'm feeling it, and the front of your thigh. Two more. And down. If your hands are getting tired, you can do this on your fists or on your forearms. We'll do a few more here. We're going to bring the leg out to the side and bring it back in. And let's lift that knee and circle it. And circle it back the other way. Bring that leg down. We'll do the other side. And then flex the foot and lift it and lower it. And we'll lift it and circle. And circle back. And down. Whew. And press back into child. One more time, big stretch. And walk your hands back towards your knees, coming into a forward fold. When you're ready, slowly roll up. Coming into Tadasana. Bring your awareness down into your feet. Lift your toes and spread them wide. Feel the ball of your big toe and the ball of your little toe pressing into the earth. Lift your arches and feel the heel pressing into the earth, and then release the toes back down. Inhale and draw the kneecaps up. Roll the inner thighs towards each other, which might cause your tailbone to stick out. So then tuck your tailbone. Draw the pelvic floor up and the lower belly up. Inhale, lengthen your side ribs. Exhale, tuck your lower ribs. Inhale, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Reach your fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, bring the chin in slightly and lengthen the back of your neck. Exhale, reach through the crown of your head to the sky. Let's inhale, turning the palms up, bringing the arms overhead, parallel or steeple, whatever your body would like. Deep breath in, getting nice and long. Let's tip to one side, bumping the hips out a little bit the other way. Let's gently roll towards the ceiling and gently roll towards the floor. It's not a huge spinal twist. It's just a gentle opening, just a little roll back and a little roll forward. Coming back to our side stretch. Maybe go a little further without crunching the underside of your body. Inhale, tall. Inhale over the other way. Bump your hips out a little bit. And let's spin the rib cage and look up a little bit. Just a little gentle movement in the upper body. Coming forward and back. And inhale, tall, and down. Coming into Tadasana. Let's step out nice and wide, coming into our 5-pointed star. And we'll do the same thing. We'll lift the toes, press into the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe. Lift the arches, feel the heels pressing into the earth. Relax the toes down. Lift the kneecaps, draw the energy up the legs. Rotate the inner thighs to the back. Tuck the tailbone. Pick up the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. Inhale, stretch up tall with the side of the body. Exhale, tuck your lower ribs. Inhale, drop your shoulder blades down your back. Bring them together and expand your high heart. Inhale, lengthen the back of your neck. Exhale, reach up through the crown of your head. Let's rotate the toes to the right. Hips and shoulders facing me. Inhale, tall. Let's tip over into Trikonasana. You can be very high in this pose or very low, but you want to keep the sides of your body parallel and your spine straight. So you're bending from the hip, not from the waist. Press into the 4 corners of the feet as we just did, lifting the toes, lifting the arches, relaxing the toes. Draw the kneecaps up to engage the leg muscles. Deepen the bend in your hip crease. Do an outer rotation, so you're rotating your inner thigh towards the front of the room. For a little more stretch, bring the palm down, the arm alongside your ear. Take a breath and gently spin your rib cage slightly towards the sky. And inhale up. That was intense. Good work. Come back to 5-pointed star. And we'll rotate the other way. Aligning the front foot with the arch of your back foot, hips and shoulders facing me. Let's pick up the toes and spread them wide. Feel the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe pressing into the earth. Lift the arches, relax the toes, draw the kneecaps up and engage the thighs. Reach over that leg. Again, only as far as works for you, with a nice straight spine. The inner thigh is going to rotate towards the front of the room. Deepen your hip crease. Use the back of your hand to press against the side of your leg. And again, you don't have to be this low. That's all right, perfectly okay. Take a breath and gently spin your rib cage towards the ceiling and look up. And some very deep work here. And inhale up. Good job, everybody. Turn the toes in. Maybe come in a little bit closer. Bring your hands to your sacrum. Elbows towards each other. Inhale, lift the chest and open. And exhale, dive forward, slide your hands down your legs. Hands can stay on the legs or the floor between your hands. Whatever variation works for you. Again, let's lift the toes, lift the arches, engage the kneecaps, deepen the hip crease, relax the toes. You can turn your palms if your hands are on the floor and walk your fingertips behind you, pulling the floor towards you. Keep pressing your feet into the floor as if you could stretch the mat apart. Feel how that creates space in your torso to pour out of your hips. Inhale back up. And again, if your hands are on the floor, you can walk your hands forward, coming into a down dog variation with the hips between the feet. Walk the hands back in, and we'll walk the hands over to one side, say over to the left. Bringing your head towards your knee. You can have your right hand on the outside of your left leg. Again, you might be higher up, that's fine. Slide your left hand to your hip crease and pull that hip crease back as you spin your body towards the sky. Or bring your hand around to your sacrum. Spin a little more. Slide back down. Walk over the other way. Bring your hands to the ankle or leg, wherever you are. Bring your hands to the outside of the leg. Slide your top hand, I'm assuming that's your right hand, up into your hip crease. Pulling that hip crease back and spinning your body. Or you can slide your hand to your sacrum. Spin a little more. Keep those legs active, pulling them out apart. And release. One more forward fold. Bring your hands to the back of your legs. Really pull yourself in. Bring your hands to the front of your thighs, pressing back. Inhale up nice and slow so you don't get dizzy. And toe heel back to center or quietly jump. Coming back to Tadasana. Let's do Anjali Mudra again. So we're pressing the palms together, elbows lifted, shoulders down. And strong, strong arms. Good job. Let's come down onto our mats. Come down onto our bellies. And we'll do a few breaths here in Crocodile Pose. Heels out, as wide as your mat, toes turned inward. Forehead or cheek on your hands. And let's do the half frog pose that we did last week. Bringing one arm in front of you, bending at the elbow, the other arm by your side. So the hand that you're pointing to your foot, that foot comes up. Inhale, coming up. Sort of like a Sphinx pose. If you can, grabbing your ankle and instead of pushing away, pulling that heel in towards your buttock. Lifting your head and chest, sliding your shoulder blades down. Deep, lovely breaths as you savor the stretch. And again, if you can't reach your foot, then you're just here, imagining the heel coming towards your butt. And let's release and change sides. Bringing your opposite arm in front of you, hand towards your foot. The foot you're pointing towards comes towards the ceiling. Coming into a sort of like a Sphinx pose or a Cobra pose, lifting the chest. And if you can, grabbing your ankle and pulling your heel in towards your buttock. Now be real careful of your knee. Make sure there's no stress on your knee as you fold in. Just relish that lovely stretch in the front of your thigh. Lifting the head and chest at the same time. And release. And come back into crocodile. And let's roll over onto our backs for bridge pose. Rolling down. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug. And place your feet on the floor. Knees and feet hip width apart. Heels approximately fingertip distance from your buttocks. Place the hands on the floor. And let's do a little routine here. Inhaling up, 2, 3, and rolling down. 2, 3. So you may not get all the way up, that's fine. Just warming up the back here, up, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, 4. And up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this time we'll go up as high as you like and hold it. Coming into Yoga Mudra if you like. And slowly roll back down. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And we'll do a bent knee twist. And I'm giving you an option here. You can either just push your knees away at a right angle and lower your legs to the floor, or I'm moving to the left. So I'm going to take my right leg and cross my knees over. My right knee over my left, and then coming over. So a little more challenge if you'd like to cross your legs. And then opening up in the opposite direction. And inhale back to center, uncross your legs. Square your shoulders and hips. Give yourself a hug. Hands on knees, press your legs away at a right angle and roll them to the right, or cross your left leg over your right and then roll to your right. Open out in the opposite direction. Slowly roll back, uncross. Square your shoulders and hips. Give yourself one final big squeeze. If there's anything you need for comfort in Shavasana, go get that now. You can do Shavasana with your feet on the floor, your knees touching, your hands on your belly or at your sides. You can put a blanket under your knees or stretch your legs out straight. Wriggle your shoulder blades down and towards each other, squeezing the muscles back there and then broadening your chest, engaging your high heart. And then surrender. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. When you're ready, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently circle your wrists and ankles. Roll your head from side to side and move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Then roll to one side. Place your hands on the floor in front of you and press yourself up to a seated position. And I will unmute you. So I hope you enjoyed this class with a head, neck, and shoulder focus. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.